everybody, it's Catherine and it's Tuesday sewing and it's bubble wrap play. I bet you're thinking, oh no, she's got that pesky ironing board out again. Crikey. Anyway, today it is another one in showing you about turning scraps and paper and all sorts of good things like that into fabric, and so we're going to do something with bubble wrap today. I've got some better greaseproof paper than that brown stuff I had last week, and got a little sample and it's disappeared. Just let me move my iron, see if it's under here. So I've got some pieces of bubble wrap, I've got my mask, I've got my greaseproof paper. We're not using the Bonder web this week, but I just want to show you, I've found, which I'm really pleased about, I've found my proper stuff. Well, I thought I'd found my proper stuff and now it's disappeared. Let me pare it down here where I put it. Now, wait a minute. Sorry guys, it's here. It's here. I thought I got it out. So, I don't know if you can see, hopefully so, the difference. So, this is the proper Bonder web, and it's got its name Bonder web particularly for a reason. This glue is very thick and it's in a webbed effect pattern, if you can see that. Now this is the cheap alternative that I used last week, and yeah, this is just, if you can see it there, look how thin and in effect, that's why it wasn't sticking so great, whereas this is just a scrap and there's a big difference. Let me peel a bit off for you to see. Big difference there. So that's why I prefer the proper stuff. But we're not using that this week. We're having a play with bubble wrap. Okay, so get your bubble wrap. It doesn't matter if you have your bubbles in, your bubbles inside, or the bubbles on the outside. Lay a piece of that out. I'm going to just I'll take my glasses off because I can't see with them. Can't see close up with them on, should I say. I've got my mask on, because we're going to be doing some melting of plastic, and I always say this is a disclaimer that if you go away, don't buy a proper mask to protect yourself and you choke yourself to death. It's not my fault. So you could get your snippets, lay your snippets along. Today I thought we'll have a rummage in this, because this is sort of bits of lace snippets and things in here. Oh, that's quite a big chunk there, isn't it? A bit of lace. There's a bit of white lace there. So I'm just going to get a few scraps out of here. Just you can see a big chunk down the bottom. Hope you're all... Ooh, just stabbed myself with a inking pin there. Hope you're all okay. It's lovely and sunny here today. Just had a bit of lunch and sat out in the garden, which was really nice. Sat out and had a read. And yeah, it was really pleasant. Made a nice change to get some of that autumn sunlight. Right, I'm just going to... I've no rhyme or reason to this, to be honest. I'm just putting bits down. So you can lay... Where's my other scissors? You can lay down your fibres. I'll show you later that that's what I did earlier. So, just lay down these bits of snippets. I've got some brown ones here. Bit of hessian there in little squares. Put that there. So you can have a think about your design or not. Just put it down randomly. I mean, it depends really what you're doing. I mean, if you're doing a specific journal, it may be that you think about your colours carefully to what's going to go in. Oh, got a bit of bling here. Got to have a bit of bling in. Tell you what though, don't hit them too one play. Oh, crikey. It's got all sequins on, it's not the easiest. We'll put a bit of bling down there. And I'll tell you what, I've got some of these flowers that I've been putting on my pouches. I hope you can hear me alright with this mask on. Let's put that up there. That'd be nice there. Just put 2 on, I think. We'll put that one there. Okay, so, you know, leave some space in between, or it's entirely up to you. Do you want that bit of pink in there as well? Yes, we can do. I think my scissors are ready for sharpening. A bit up there. So you've found all sorts of bits and bobs to shove in with your bubble wrap. Put that down there, that there. We'll leave it at that for now and see how that goes. Okay, so you're going to put another layer of your bubble wrap over the top, as if to make like a sandwich. Just like a bit like what we did last week with the... and then we're going to put our grease-proof. I can't seem to say that word today. I can't seem to say grease-proof. There, this is very hot. You might hear some popping. Actually, I find it really satisfying. You know, popping bubble wrap. Oh, it's lovely. Very therapeutic, I think. So we're just hot iron again. Really hot iron again. Not on steam. And just carefully go round. Let me make sure my other bubble wrap isn't near, or else I'll just end up in a hot sticky mess, won't I? Just move it up a bit. Oh! That's clean. What did I say last week? I said always use a scrappy old iron. Don't get a mess all over your best ironing iron, didn't I? What did I do yesterday? I was ironing, doing the proper ironing, and then I thought, oh, you know what? I'll do a couple of those backgrounds, you know, ready for doing the altered paper clips. Oh, hence I had to scrub it afterwards. So, yeah. Imagine. Now, can you see how it's starting to, that's started to melt. Now, you might decide that that's enough. You might decide that, you know, you want the effect of the bubbles. So you can still see some of the bubble pattern in between. I mean, to me, there's not really enough stuff in there, but I wanted to sort of show you what to do. However, it doesn't matter if you don't put loads and loads in, because you can do loads of stitch. I'm throwing bubble wrap everywhere now. You know, you can then do some embroidery on there, some stitch on there, whatever you want to do. So it's entirely up to you how much you want to flatten your bubble wrap. Just depending on what. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, is it for little things please little minds, is it, that they say here in the UK? I know, but it's free, isn't it? This came in parcel. I mean, yeah. Cheap entertainment. Right. Okay, so we'll peel that off, and actually that doesn't really give off that many fumes, and you can see I love this effect when you start getting this, the effect of the squash bubbles. I think gives a really lovely pattern. Now, in some ways you don't have to put anything in it. If you just want to do 2 layers of bubble wrap and squash it down like that, and then you know, you can then stitch into it if you like, and it'll make a nice cover. But I mean, yeah, doesn't look anything much at the moment. Now, one that I did earlier, and I wanted to show you how easy it is to incorporate it into your your journaling, your junk journaling. So here is one that I laid all sorts of threads down. So just my bunch of threads that I had last week, and I've laid them all down and done some extra sewing on the machine into them. And this is the front. And I decided to make a nice cover. So I've laid down some vintage cloth. I've put a flower on there that I've put it cut out from the botanical kit from Rachel, and then on the back I've put some of her lace that's on there, paper format on her digitals, and a lovely butterfly which I thought went. Now the lovely thing with this is you can see through it, you know, if you want. You've still got that see-through element. Wouldn't bother me having, let's see if I can get some pages. Here we go. You know, say for example this was your book of stuff. Then, you know, I'd be quite happy to have that as a cover or as your first signature page. And I don't think that you can cover that. I sometimes do. Sometimes I will then put a backing layer on if I want a particular cover to show through. Colour, sorry, not cover, to show through. And yeah, just an idea what you can do there. Now what I want to try, seeing as I'm on about doing the, let's shove this lid on before we get lace everywhere. Dog chew container that. Hey, great to put your snippets in, your bits of lace. Okay, so next piece I'm going to do, put most of my stuff up off the floor now. And use these two. I've got two long pieces here. Now what I want to try to do is I've got some orange coloured material, and I want to see if I can encapsulate this in the bubble wrap. Now I thought then, because I'm doing the autumn journal, couldn't think then, the autumn journal, I thought then that I might be able to make some tags or something, but I wasn't sure. I've not done this. I've done it with snippets of material, never done it with long. It's lovely, this is I've got some of this in the I've done some autumn packs, more autumnal colours in the shop, and some of this is in some of them. I think it's really lovely. Okay, so let's put our bubbles down. Let's get that inside, and let's hanging out the bottom of it, isn't it? Tell you what, we'll do it that way. Pull that up a bit. Right, let's see if this works. Okay. You end up, you know, sort of get rid of all your frustrations, couldn't you? I think this has slipped a bit. This has slipped. Get in there. What's happened to the other bit? Oh, crikey, look at that. Look at this. See, this is where you have to be careful. I've let it slip, look, and it's not covering anything. Right, okay, we'll put that back in there. So let's get another bit. Let's see if we can put it inside there. Now this is not too bad either. We're not really getting too many fumes from this. Sorry if I'm going, all you can see is my arm. Okay, now then, let's have a look here. Now we just need a bit more on the top there, don't we? I'm going to do, wonder if we could see it enough if we went like that. No, I don't think we would. Let's try it anyway. So it's just a matter of putting a hot iron on and just being patient, you know, because you've got to go slowly and just keep going back over it again. Just keep putting your heavy pressure on. There's one thing, my proper iron worked great yesterday, so even though it mucked my iron up, it was a lot easier to do than with this one. Okay, let's have a look how we're doing. Now that's not exactly what I was wanting. I was wanting the full pattern on that, but that's fine because, you know, we can still cut that up. Because I've had to do it like that, it's not really showing it. I think what you need to use is some proper double-sided pattern. You know, this hasn't got anything on the back and that would have worked okay. But that's fine because it's just a bit of an experiment. And I'm just going to stitch all over this, and I think that will still make some nice tags or some journaling cards. Okay. So the final, this is the sort of next big thing I want to show you that I really like doing. Look at this, it's gorgeous. I've got this and all that beadwork. So what I'm going to do is, far too big a piece for on there, I'm going to cut that off. Now let's just make sure it is. I'm going to cut this off a little bit. I don't want it to be so near the edge that we're not going to catch it. Okay. So we're going to catch all that. There's always a bit of corner missing, isn't there? There's always a corner missing. That's when things are delivered. You know, you rip at your bubble wrap because you're so excited to see what you bought. Now you can get some really, this is one of my favourite things to do. Not the bubble crushing, yes. As well as the bubble crushing. Encapsulating something, some fabric. And it. Making a mess of me, this pointy iron. Now this is when you can start getting the smells because it's melting the sari material as well. Okay. Okay, so now we need to press this down so that we can see more underneath. I don't think it'll be up to much, this grease proof for you, but how I finish this. Okay. So we go now, peel this off. So now you can see, now that's quite an interesting effect. Can you see how the bubbles have, like, you can just see, I wanted to be able to see the beading a bit better, so I might do a bit more over there. But the other thing, can you see how this chiffony sari silk material is shrinking as well and taking on. Can you see how it's taking on some of the pattern of the bubbles as it's shrinking? I think that's really good effect. So I've got to do a bit of work in this. Turn it round. Work in this corner because obviously it's not had enough piece on that. See if that's better. Ouch, that was a bit warm. Mind your fingers, everybody. Okay, let's see what's happening a bit more with this beading. See if we can straighten out. I didn't want to do that. Try not to catch it as well. The bits you haven't got covered up. Okay, I love that effect. I think that's really lovely. Now, what I think I've learnt from this, you can see the beads, but I wouldn't waste. I think I'd just do ordinary sari silk in there and not waste the beaded bit, because you can't see it as well as I would have liked to have seen it. But I can stitch through that, and I think we'll make some tags. We'll make some tags out of that, I think, for my autumn journal. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do another bit just to show you what it's like if we use threads. So I've got my trusty threads, and let's have a go at spreading them out and getting some. Now, because it sticks upon itself again, you know, you can put plenty in. I've done this before when I did a piece of work, and it was I'll show it you sometime. It's in the loft actually. I did something on studying peacocks, and this one of the exam pieces, and what I did was just layered all different green threads up the middle of this and bubble wrapped it together and melted it, and it just looked like the peacock's body, all different greens showing through. So once you get the hang of it, you know, there's some really nice effects, and I think, probably because I'm a bit quirky like that, I think that just adds a little bit of an extra touch to any journal. You know, if you're doing something like this, it's something a bit unusual for people to, draws the eye, doesn't it? And you know, we're getting a bit more texture in it. And right, okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Make sure our strings are, better put it out a bit more there. Let's put something a bit of thread. Not quite got enough light there, I don't think. And that's all I did on here, on this one that I did earlier. I think that looks lovely with those flowers on the front. So, thank you everybody, all lovely wishes. That people were saying congratulations to Joe for passing his test. I shall get him to watch, to have a look at those tonight. And they've had, my eldest son lives in Leicestershire as well, and they've had it pretty tough there. They've had lockdown. They were the first city to go into a second lockdown here in the UK. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flick it over on itself. So we've got all that lovely mixture. Got a new piece of grease through. It's hard to tell sometimes which is the right way around, isn't it? Are you getting ready, girls? Get ready for the crackle. He's saying I would rinse it. I think it's on the other side. I think the open bubbles are on the other side. Do you know it's half hot, isn't it? Under the lights. Under the lights with a hot iron and a mask on. Crikey. I'm hoping you're all going to have a go at this and enjoy it as much as I do. I just love it. I just find it really relaxing, and you never know quite what it's going to turn out like. Right, let's have a look at that. I know, you think, oh, hot mess. I'm liking that. Sometimes it's better once you let it cool as well. Wow. Right. This is from a different, this is another bit of bubble wrap that came with something else wrapped in it. Now you wouldn't think that, you'd think bubble wrap was bubble wrap, wouldn't you? But you can tell this is not having the popping effect. The bubbles aren't very big and there's not much air in them. So they all act differently, and I think this is a lot thinner. Oh, love it. Look at that. Look at that mess. That's great. I love it. Right, let's a bit more. Okay, there we are. There's your material. Now then, just let that cool a bit because it's very hot, so just be careful. There is our piece of material for scraps. So you see why I collect all this, can't you? Don't throw anything out. So that's the look we've got from. That's going to be good. This, I'll have a look at that, and I'll probably do something with that. I'll come on Friday. When I do Friday's wrap up, I'll show you what else I've made. Now, so this one is the only one that I think, oh, it didn't work out how I wanted it to. But mainly because I didn't cut enough bubble wrap really, and it ended up upside down. But never mind, we can still use that. We could cut these down, do a bit of stitch on it, cut it down into some journaling cards and back them. So I'll be quite happy with that still. So nothing's wasted, you know. It's it'll be all right on the night, as they say. Look at this, lovely. This is all fabric now, look. And that, although it looks as if it's on the top, it's not. It's all encased in the bubbles. Yeah, this is one. So I just thought I'd show you how. So on this piece, I've done this. This is another piece of sari silk. So I've done it the same as this, but this is with big bubble wrap. And can you see the big... You see the big circles there from this? And I thought that gave a lovely effect. And this beadwork has really shown up. So I think it depends on the size of the beads. I mean, these are more like a sequin effect than these. So, you know, these have really shown up. So what I've done here is done some extra stitching around the edges and straightened it up. And there's me. Oh, this will be too big a book, but pretend this is your book in there. Even if you want to do it as a... Love it. You know, even if you want to do it as a, not your full cover, but you want to do one at the beginning of each signature. Look how gorgeous that looks. Well, I think it's gorgeous. You might just think it's a hot mess. Oh dear. But yeah, I think that's really effective. So have a play around. I'm sure that, you see, that looks nothing at the minute. But by the time I've done some stitch, in fact, with this one, I tell you what I think I'll do with this. There's a bead coming through. I think I will put some, do some hand stitching on here. And do some, something along here to highlight the beads. That's what I think I'll do with this, and see how that turns out. And I'll show you that on Friday. Anyway, lovelies, thank you so much for joining me. I've managed this week without blowing the iron up, and nearly stuck the bubble wrap to the surface, but no, I managed without. So yeah, there's a lovely material that I'm thrilled with. And there's the journal cover I made earlier. And the lovely pretty one. Look how lovely they go together. Right, thank you very much for joining me. Any questions or anything, please feel free to ask me down below. Please have a lovely go at this. Just remember, wear a mask just in case there's any fumes. There's not too many from this, but I think it's best to always think of health and safety. Keep safe, and hope you'll join me on Thursday. A bit of a process video on Thursday. I think we'll do some stuff towards the my autumn journal. So thanks so much for joining me, and take care. See you Thursday. Bye for now.